All right. So, you guys, welcome to your second month of our senior sales call. What did you guys think of the last call?
It was awesome.
Awesome.
Super helpful.
Well, we've got a big subject for you tonight, and I'm actually going to have Ellen kick us off with it. So,
awesome.
All right. Thanks, Reagan. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to say I love our tribe, but it's kind of your tribe and your thing. And it was really awesome to hear your feedback last month. What I want to share with you tonight, and I want to kind of hear some of your ideas around these principles. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you an analogy, and I'm going to tell you what this all adds up to. But when I think about that step from SC to SSC, it's about duplication. It's about really bringing people onto your team. And that's your number one focus. You can't eat your way any more up the marketing plan than you already have. And so how do you duplicate? Number one, the question is, who am I becoming? And number two is, what kind of people am I bringing on board? And I really believe that if you think about distributors, there's a four-legged stool. This is a pretty easy analogy. But think of a four-legged stool, and there's four legs that I believe make a successful distributor. And I want to be really transparent in that I'm always looking at myself in terms of these areas, and I'm thinking about this and listening for clues when I'm talking to other people. Because we know statistically you guys are going to frontline about 50 people to get you to national marketing director, okay? Those are just the numbers. You can't outsmart them. It's just the way it is. So that means you're going to talk to a lot of people on the way, right? What are some of the things that you can get really intentional about working on and listening for, so you start to clue into the people that can really start to help you build your team? Because out of those 50 people, you're going to have your 5, 6, or 7 that are your strong sales coordinator lines that propel you into NMD-ship. And that's part of your journey to SSC, okay, is creating lines, not just creating customers anymore. So the first leg of the stool, number one is desire. And I think desire encompasses a couple things. It encompasses motivation, ambition, but it is really that driver, as Melanie was saying early, of what's in your heart. Why are you here? What is driving you forward? Because desire is what is going to get you out of bed and get you in your DMO when you don't feel like it, when your kids are screaming their head off, when you don't have a lot of confidence, when somebody quit the day before, all those kinds of emotional things that we go through. Desire gets you over the hump. Desire is the emotion of like, I want this more than I want to stay stuck maybe in a negative moment. So the second thing is work ethic or willingness. And Reagan says it as willingness, and I really like that because you know, you've got to be willing to go out there and do the work. You've got to be willing to go find the 50 people, and those people that want to move up the marketing plan have to be willing to do the work themselves. We cannot do it for them. And you will try somewhere on this journey, I've done it myself, to make other people successful, and they ultimately have to own it themselves. But your willingness to work, willingness to get out of your comfort zone, willingness to be a brave leader, right? Mm-hmm. The third piece is coachability or teachability. Those are interchangeable terms. But you're looking for people who are coachable, who can look to you, who can look to the team, to the resources available and say, how do I do this and how do I get better at doing this? That can say, how am I doing? Who can take some feedback? I think that with teachability, you know, not coming in and trying to reinvent the wheel. You get to be you here, but there's already a system in place.
Right.
And when you think about that system that's in place, before I get to the fourth leg of the stool, I want you to imagine if you've ever like seen logging, and I was saying this morning, this is like Sesame Street, right? There's a river and they're cutting logs and they're sending the logs down the river to the mill or the factory, whatever's going to happen to those logs. So Juice Plus and our mission, our system that's in place, our team, that's the river. It's happening, it's moving. That's what the river does. Okay, and you can trust that. Your job is to get timber in the water. Okay, because every time you send a log down that river, that's a new distributor. Now, where that log ends up, or whether or not that is diseased wood, or whether or not that log builds a magnificent, home somewhere, that's not really for you to control that outcome. Your job is, and what you want to think about right now is get timber going downstream. Okay, so the fourth piece of this stool is edification. And edification is really a skill set. It's an art. It goes back to how we share Juice Plus in the first place. When I went to Reagan's house and she's wearing this adorable outfit, and I say, where did you get that? And she goes, I never would have bought through one of those online things where they ship you a whole outfit, but I tried it and it's some of the best clothes I've ever bought. Well, what am I doing? I'm getting on the website and I'm checking it out, right? Because she shared her story and it shows she looks cute. It's the same thing with Juice Plus, and it's going to be the same thing, you guys, with this business and with this mission. You've got to edify the mission, build it up, and you've got to edify your team and the people around you. The more good gossip you can gossip about people, the better. When you get your new people excited about being part of this community, oh my gosh, I have a new distributor in Portland. Awesome. I cannot wait for you to meet Jamie Bischoff. She's in Oregon and she's so awesome. And you've got to see, her amazing Instagram, and you've got to hear about what she's doing with this mission and how she inspires people. Man, her team is fired up. This woman is going places. So we've got to get into that art of edification, because it develops, it really develops two things. If I can read my handwriting. It creates trust, which is everything. Everything in a business has got to ultimately be built on trust. When I send my money to my guy who manages my IRAs, I do that because I trust him, right? So we've got to build kind of that trust container, which this is a lot feeding into brave leaders. And then that also creates the culture of our team. Okay, when you have that, we've talked about, that tribal culture where it's like, we're all great, everybody's great here, whether you're doing a little or a lot, you're a blessing. But remember, the leader mindset is, I keep putting timber in the river. Patting them on the back. We have a great system. We have a great team. Let's get you going, right? And then you wait and you see what happens, right? You see if they take the next step. So that was my analogy I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And I'd love to hear what you think about.
Oh, Ellen, you were froze up. What'd you say? Say one more time. You'd love to hear what?
Oh, I would like to hear, from you guys what you think about those concepts. Where do you maybe where do you get held back?
Ellen, can you do me one favor? There were two questions at the very beginning that you were talking about. How do I duplicate? Who am I becoming? What was the second question?
Who am I bringing on board?
Yeah. So before we get into that discussion, I want Mel to share a little bit on influence, but I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about when we talk about willingness, work ethic, willingness, all of that. A lot of times, sometimes I think that when we are bringing people onto our team, our motivation is what can I get? And when you start to run your business from what can I give, it takes away the fear. You know, who can I help? What can I give? And so it totally changes. I mean, it just totally changes why you're doing this. So are you somebody that I'm going to get this so that I can make $100? Or is it so I can help a whole lot of people so that I can embrace the mission? And if I embrace the mission and help a lot of people, I'll get $100. You see what I mean? I think people sometimes skip that step. And when we bring new people on, for them to really feel that heart of yours, that you're there because you want to see a difference in their life, and that's what you're focused on, then you're not going to be worried about, am I good enough? Did I say the right thing? You know, so try to run your business from what can I give? What am I giving? Okay. The next thing is I wanted to share with you when when Ellen said it takes around 50 people for you to frontline sponsor. Okay. How quick did you want to get to the top of the marketing plan? Okay. How many people did you want to inspire? When you have 50 other people who are out inspiring themselves or others, you're going to find probably 24 of those people who at least will want to share with 12 families, 24 customers, okay? If you had 50 people who you brought on your team this next year, which you can totally do that, and just half of them share with 12 families, that's a husband and wife, that's 24 orders per person, I'm going to tell you right now, you would be at the very top of our marketing plan. So don't worry about all of the different, you know, oh, I need to be a sales coordinator, I need to be this, I need to be that. Go out and find some people that can help you give to this world and make an impact on the planet of people getting healthier. Not all of those people, like, you know, I like the wood analogy. Some of those people may not be, you know, the most beautiful piece of wood, and they may not go on to build a big building, but they're in the river, at least they're going down with the flow, right? And so for you to be moving on and thinking about, could I go out and give to 50 people this year that it would help me to inspire healthy living? And then Mel, do you want to quickly talk about influence and why that's important?
Yeah, well, when Ellen was talking about, you know, who are we bringing on? And, you know, I think the biggest step from SC to SSC is really building that team of people that are coming along with you, that get the mission and get what we're up to and want to be a part of helping others. And, you know, some people talk about it as recruiting up. I always look at it as, you know what, like I'm looking for people that already have trust and rapport in their own communities and that are influencers themselves. I mean, and we look at that, you know, like there's Instagram influencers or whatever, and, you know, that's who they're paying to, you know, the companies are paying now to be, you know, their advertising and their sponsors, right? But we've got to look at our business like that too, in that who are influencers in their community that, like Reagan says, want to be a resource for others to make this place, you know, a better, healthier place. And when I think about what we were talking about with edification, I have to tell you, you know, when we talk about that and how, you know, people, it makes me think about people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when you can edify, I mean, I just remember this, you guys, I knew Stephanie from basically nobody. And I showed up at her house and she trusted me enough to introduce me to her friends. But when she and Willie were introducing her friends to me, you guys, it was as if I was meeting like rock stars. This is how they talked about their friends when they introduced me to them. And you want to know what? I know why they have such influence in their communities, because they talk about the good things about the people that are in their life. And you want to know what? They see the good in other people. And guess what? That's what they talk about when they introduce people. And I do have to say that built so much trust for me to walk into that situation and know that these were awesome, beautiful people that I was getting ready to talk to. But then also vice versa, they were doing the same thing with me. And I feel like it really does make a difference. And it's how we can truly be authentic in what we do is when that trust is there. And we use that edification to, you know, leverage what we're, you know, really making a difference in the world with. So I don't know, Steph, do you remember that? How, I don't even know if you guys know that you do it. It's just naturally who you are. And I don't know, it made me just feel like amazing when I was in your house and in your home. And even the second time when I came back and got to meet new friends with you.
You're so sweet. I just really try to surround myself with positive people, and I feed off of that. And so, and it was just, I think it was my first event, so it was all my favorites, and people that I knew really, really well. But I was also really super happy because I had just discovered Juice Plus. It made me super happy, and so the whole thing was just a positive experience. And, but yeah, it was so much fun. I still can't believe you came. Like, what? I just met you and you flew out here. I mean, it was crazy. But it was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you guys have people who join your team, some people you'll bring on won't have influence. And to me, if people have a hard time influencing their best friend or their mom, and then they kind of end there, I'm okay with that. I want to be really grateful that they're there and they're influencing themselves. But I'm going to go and let them be where they are. Let them know, I can be here anytime they need. But I'm going to go immediately who's next? Who's my next influencer? I'm looking for that next person that can actually help me with my mission, right? So I think sometimes why people get held back between sales coordinator and senior sales coordinator is because we bring somebody on and we think, oh, this person is going to do all this, and then they don't, and we start to feel responsible, like we have to take care of them. And that's why I put up that little visual that I put up in the Facebook group. You guys can read through that, but we're not responsible for people. We're responsible to people, but we're also responsible to ourselves. And, it's your responsibility, to your mission to go find the people that can influence more people than just yourself. So we've got
That's really good.
10 minutes left. Let's throw it out. What do you guys think? What's going through your brains?
I think that sometimes when you look at these qualities that you're talking about, these are the people, for me at least, that are the scariest to talk to because they're already successful in, their own right. And sometimes I'm like, well, why would they want to add something else to their plate? But why wouldn't they? If they're already successful and they already have all of this rapport in the community and trustworthiness built up, then these, of course, are the people you're going to want to talk to. It's just getting past that.
So if you weren't worried about what they thought of you, that's what I'm feeling when you're telling me. That you're worried about so you're thinking that because they're successful in what they do, that they wouldn't want to do this measly little Juice Plus business that you're staying home with your kids. So we need to reframe that in your brain, Jenna.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So listen, I have a lady who rolled up to me as a customer who's underneath one of my very casual distributors. I did 2 events at her house like 13 years ago. And so I reached out to this woman because the other girl didn't renew. And she called me and she said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to have you. She goes, I need Juice Plus and I need to get some for my daughter. And I need my parents on this. And I said, you might as well join our team. And I asked her what she does. Well, she's like this big, corporate bigwig. And I said, why do you like Juice Plus so much? She goes, I can't live without it. She goes, I travel for my company. I'm in Japan. I'm here. I'm there. And I never get sick because I take Juice Plus. And I said, you might as well join our team. And she said, oh my gosh, I would love to. Now, I don't know what she's going to do, but you know what? To me, it sounded like she kind of wants to be around her kids more.
Yeah. And I'm getting past that. Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll see. But I got her in the river. We'll see what happens.
And really, we're doing a misfortune if we don't ask them, but I just have to remember that.
It was just a little invitation to say, hey, you know what? It is a no-brainer. There's a lot of people that, I said to her, you never know, you might create a really nice annuity income right alongside what you're already doing. And she said, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because she's already sharing it.
Right.
So why wouldn't they want to come do what we do?
Mm-hmm.
I know what Jenna's saying though too, because I have found that they can influence, they can use their influence if they have a bad experience. And I get scared when I have somebody that, is gone off the product and they have a lot of influence, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
So me, that's, I think, where the scary comes in, is like, I don't want anything to go wrong, and so not only what they think of me, but what they might put out there because of their influence, if that makes sense.
Have they really had a bad experience with our product, or was it with our business?
They just canceled for whatever reason, and I have people that do that, and they have a lot of influence, and I think that makes me nervous. And it's not like they tried the whole 4 months and they were just like, no thanks, but it just, that's where I think I see where it's coming. I get it. But it's scary.
Yeah.
I should dig into my drawer and show you the stack of cards I have that people who have sent me, like, crying with teardrops on them. Thank you so much. So not everybody's going to have an amazing experience. Not everybody's going to get the message. But there are going to be some people that are going to be like, oh my gosh, you saved my life. I mean, I have a guy who was given 2 weeks to live, and he's still here 8 years later because I was able to be a resource for him. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Juice Plus saved his life, but it certainly had something to do with it. We sent him to some other things. So you've got to reframe your brain that not everybody drinks coffee. The waitress doesn't get mad, right? Some will, some won't. So what? You guys, somebody else is waiting. And so, there's so many. We've only touched 2 to 3% of this whole world, and we need more people to help us get fruits and vegetables. And so we have nothing to apologize for, do we? We have the most researched product in the world. And as far as our business model goes, if you work it, you can earn money. Not everybody's going to work.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all good.
And Stephanie, having been here 12 years, I totally can understand that fear of, like, what if somebody goes, they cancel, and then they go and they, like, badmouth the whole thing. Well, I just have to tell you that I went through my address book a couple months ago. There's over 500 names in there. That's over 500 people that I've put on Juice Plus over time. And that includes a couple of my some of my chiropractors people. None of those people are out there talking negatively about it. The only people that talked negatively about it were the 2 friends who poo-pooed me doing the whole thing in the first place, and they weren't that good of friends anyway. So, it's sometimes that's just kind of like that little, the little demon on your shoulder that's trying to talk you out of it. And you got to realize, like, what if it changes their life?
You're not going to help everybody, but you are going to help some, and you're going to make a significant impact in the world when you have other people joining you who are doing the same. And they're not going to help everybody either. But you only need 50 people to join your team front line to find that national marketing director team that has the people that can influence more people, that can show other people how and influence other people for the better, right?
I just wanted to add something too. I think because most of you, I finished Brave Leaders. Now I'm doing deep dives. So I just want to give you guys like a little sliver of hope before we have to get off too. For those of you starting in this next round, you're going to grow, and it's going to be an interesting growth. It feels hard in the process, but I'm hearing you guys say the things I was saying to myself 6 months ago. Like, I just don't know, like, talking myself out of it. And now I'm like, I'm just going to go talk to that chiropractor. I'm just going to go talk to that. Like, I don't even care. So what's the worst that happens? They look at me like I'm crazy. My kids look at me like that every day. Right? So, like,
this is great. And now that chiropractor's on our team.
Don't know if you don't go.
Nicely done.
Right?
Awesome.
So I feel like it's a numbers game. To be honest, I don't know if Reagan, you just go out there and do a whole bunch of the hard crap. Just keep doing it every single day till it's not hard anymore. And then you're like, I can tell everybody. I'm just going to talk to everybody. Nobody can stop me. But it's hard at first. You just keep doing it, the hard stuff, until it's not hard anymore.
Can you make a Voxer about that, Erica?
Yeah, that's really good.
That would be great.
Do you guys know about the puke corner? Remember this from Karen Rankin?
Yeah.
You don't want to see that person at a Juice Plus event with somebody else. So, like, sometimes you gotta kind of think, like, if I don't go get them, somebody else will. Or it'll be that super annoying Rodan Fields lady who posts about it 7 times a day.
Yeah.
So go get them.
So let's continue this in our Voxer chat, because I want to hear from you, Lauren. I want to hear more Jenna, Jamie, Sandra. You know, I know you guys, you know, haven't had a chance to say much. Stephanie, let's carry this conversation on, and I'd love to hear what holds you guys back, and let's see if we can't get a little bit of a reframe and really just be thinking about, let's go out and find this team. Here's the thing, if you don't shoot the ball, you're not going to make a basket. So let's be shooting and inviting people, and that's going to lead us to the topic that I'm going to talk about in 1 minute on the other side, on the other Zoom call. So we're going to bridge right over to that, okay?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, Ellen, hit end record, would you? Because I made you the host.
Yeah.
Great.